5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the ROMELLO Marcellus show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring 'em out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you. Check it out. You're now rocking with the best.
Here I am, goddammit. Here I am. Welcome to the ROMELLO Marcellus show. I'm he, and he is me. I didn't like that introduction, but anyway, it's the way we're moving. This is another edition of the ROMELLO Marcellus show. I'm your host. Always doing the most. As I said last night, man, we had a decent conversation, and it was really, I guess, educational, if you want to call it that. And we were able to learn a lot. I guess I did. I'm sure some other folks did too. Hang on. Anyway, let me know if you can hear me. If you're in the room, throw your thumbs up. Let me know you're here. As we let people get in, and I'll get off into some things. And while y'all sitting there, man, y'all can take a look at this, because this is where we're going tonight. I'm driving the car. Is it? Marinate on that. Marinate on that right there. All right. Now that y'all seen what we're going with the topic tonight, just chime in, man. Fall into the room. We're still early. Still early. Welcome once again to the ROMELLO Marcellus show. I am he, and he is me. And yeah, we're talking about. You know what? Let me go ahead and put it up. I don't like to wait around. Can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? That's the topic tonight. Can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? And we're talking about women. Let's say you had a man and he was good to you. You had an excellent relationship, and something happened, and he wasn't able to do his duty to that booty. Would you stay faithful? Would you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? See, most would beg to differ and say, well, a sexless relationship is just a friendship. It's not a relationship. But then there's some that say you can have different levels of intimacy and maintain a relationship. There's so many reasons why these things happen to guys, where at certain parts in their life they're not able to get it up or rise to the occasion. So we talk about ED, right? Erectile dysfunction is, I guess, in other words, impotence. It's an inability to get an erection enough for sex. And it's going to happen to a lot of you guys. And yeah, we're talking about how would you handle it, or how would your mate handle it? Would they be caring or compassionate enough to stay with you, or would they be, I guess, out for themselves to do what they needed to do for themselves? That's the big question. While we figured it out, this is what I came up with. These are just a few of the things that would even bring you to the point of saying, damn it. Does any of us really know? Or are we just blowing smoke? I mean, just picture it. Think about it, man. If you were with somebody you loved and you cared about, and something happened, and they weren't able to fulfill those obligations to you, would you stay faithful? I mean, we just saying that part of the body's not working. There's other things that you can do. But some may say, well, I need that aspect of it too, or I got to go get it somewhere else. Yeah. And here's a big question, because you got so many options. But then here, this is the test. If we remove it from the relationship, what are we going to find out? Most of us will find out just what this says. We have nothing to offer one another. Yeah, we started slow tonight, but we'll get into it. Let it grow. Let it build. Saying your greatness comes with patience, persistence, hard work, dedication. And that's what we're talking about. Yep. Can you hear me? Look, if I was in every one of these situations, man, ever, I'm pretty sure I'd put myself out of my misery with it. I would just let the individual go. Because I wouldn't sit there and ponder my mind about what would potentially or could potentially happen or not. And I know that when certain aspects of life happens as a man, shit, none of us is exempt for dealing with self-esteem issues that come with that kind of thing, or that could potentially come with that. Blame, shifting, a whole bunch of things. You know, the emotional stresses and duresses, you know, and trying to figure out what we could do to make it a reality once again. Yeah. And a lot of times that's attributed to the things that we've already done to ourselves, like drinking, heart disease, you know, high cholesterol, diabetes, scar tissue. It can be psychological too. That blue pill may not always work. So, in the event that that is an issue, let's just say, you know, he was dead from the waist down. Car accident, anything. Would you stay? Would it be a sympathy thing, or would it be a pity party, or would you really want to be there, ladies? Yeah. If we're talking about you, not so much us. We know goddamn well we be out. Yeah. Yep. See the effects? Some of the effects, man. Growing communication issues, receding libido, increasing stress, elevating misunderstanding, self-esteem issues, growing insecurities, and separation or divorce. And this comes in, many different forms. I mean, we're not just talking about the fact that someone has had an injury or what have you. It's just the fact that he can't perform. What are you going to do? You got everything else with him. He's giving you everything he can give you. He's taking your bitching and moaning. He hung in there with you. But now he just can't do it to you. You going to stay or go? And if you stay, are you going to be loyal or no? That's the question. Are you going to peek in for a minute? You're going to hang in, deal with him, roll around with him, and then disappear and find somebody to blow your back out. Come back home. See, so many people want honesty, but they're not willing to be honest. And this is that form and that time, and we talk about these things because none of us are getting any younger. None of us are. And these are questions we got to ask, man. Who's gonna roll out with us when we get older? You're not gonna always be attractive. You're not gonna always be in tip-top shape or whatever. Yeah. Questions you got to ask. What would you do if the shoe were on the other foot? Would you give them a pass? Bad thing being in a position where you can't hump. Can't take care of your partner. Yeah. I mean, that's a form of incarceration, I guess. Mental. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just know that a lot of us out here say we can handle that thing until it happens to us. And then we're talking like this. Shit, some of us think about cheating and getting sex in a relationship. So, this. I guess it's just another excuse or a reason. If you're joining the show tonight, man, we're talking about can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? And like I said, you have a partner, a significant other, husband, whatever, and you all have built a life together, experiences, may have kids, anything. But then something happens and he can't get it up. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay loyal? Are you going to stay focused? Or are you going to check in on other options, other potentials? That's the question. Yeah. Loyalty is everything, man. Yeah. You got some more. If you're watching the show, man, you got something you want to leave it in the comments below. Let me get into it. Let me let you know where you can leave it at. Hang on. Type here. Yeah. And also, if you like the show, follow me. Actually, you can hold your phone up to the screen right now, and it's going to take you to my Instagram. Okay? Yeah, follow me there. Also on YouTube at the ROMELLO MARCELLOUS Show. Click subscribe, click like, hit the bell, get your notifications. And yeah, when we come on, man, hell, I don't need but 12 seconds from you. You ain't talking. If I'm not talking about something you want to hear, man, just let it run 12 seconds and you can just bow on out. But double tap the screen. Let me know you were there. Or let me know that you wanted me to know that you were there. I already know that you're there, even while you're sitting there on my screen. I can go into my analytics and see who's watching. Yeah. But tonight, man, we're talking about loyalties. Can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? How much of your relationship is based on sex or the physical aspect of it? You know? A lot of us say these things, and then when it happens, they don't know. As I said before, you can remove sex from a relationship and you'll discover what you really have, if you have anything other than that to offer one another. Okay? This is just saddening. No connection, no appreciation, nothing cherished between two people, no genuine efforts, just the sex. And I'm basing this on things that happen, man, and I'm asking because there's a lot of brothers out here that may go through this, you know, for many different reasons as they get up in age. And we were talking about it last night where, okay, hey, matter of fact, here's a flip side. Fellas, how do you please a woman sexually? Is it just a pile drive and bang, 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 bang? I mean, what is that? What are we really doing? That's a question. Because this in itself goes back to what I said retrospectively last night. A lot of times you have to make love to the mind. Everything else will follow. Makes it a little more easy. If you're just joining the show once again, man, we're talking about the fact that, you know, you have individuals who are in relationships and, you know, have fruitful relationships. Things happen and you may not get any, get it up. I mean, but we're talking about now here. I'm going to give you a caveat. This is what most fellas see now and how they're dealing with relationships, right? Okay, porn. We live in a society where a lot of the things we see may be soft porn and things of that nature. And without realizing it, porn is a weapon. Each time porn's viewed, there's brain damage. Brain damage is incurred by a flood of synthetically generated dopamine, okay? And studies have shown that consistent viewing of porn damages dopamine receptors and also decreases gray matter in the brain. This is a form of brain damage which leads to low testosterone, anxiety, depression, decreased self-confidence, depletion of minerals, and less motivation. Porn also disconnects the viewer from reality and degrades the relationship between men and women, making it easier to control the population. If something is free, you get the product. I might have went over some of y'all's heads. So a lot of times, man, you get the images of how you're supposed to do things based on entertainment. And who's entertaining who? Or who's zooming who? Yeah. Looking at camera angles and all of that kind of shit and fucking you up. It goes back to what I was saying. You know, you got cups and bottles, caps and cups and shit like that. It's always going to look smaller next to something, well, look bigger next to something smaller. If that makes sense to you. Yeah. So, but back to this. Can you stay loyal, ladies, in a sexless relationship with a man that treated you good, or that was good to you, or is still good to you, but he just can't give you that? Yeah. I mean, would he have to become a king lizard? Or would he still have to give you that pressure and that puh? Because you over 40, you know, women, y'all don't do nothing but get damp. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know. But we had that discussion last night. And I ain't trying to continue it. I'm just talking about this, you know, moving along, because a lot of you all are in good relations or good spaces in your relationships. And just, you know, this is a concern, you know. he could pull something. You on air? You on air?
Looking at the show, and you are touching on a lot of great points. To answer your question, I would say yes. I think it truly depends on the type of relationship you have. I don't think enough people tap into a relationship beyond sex a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting to know themselves and what they truly like. Like you said, a lot of people are so saturated in porn, and so they try to mimic the things that they see, believing that all women, if it's a man, and then all men, if it's a woman, that these are the only things that we're into. But I don't think that we tap into what pleases us individually. You know, not a lot of people even know or practice semen retention.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people know about cosmic orgasms or cosmic sexuality, where you and your mate, the energy can be so strong between the two of you, you don't even have to touch one another, and you can have an orgasm based off of that.
Wow.
So, again, I think that if you are in a relationship and it was built on a sexual relationship, I think it would be extremely difficult to continue that relationship being loyal, especially if that's one of your main focuses. But I think if you're in a relationship that is built on so many other facets of life, you know, if you've built a life together, you have kids, you know, you all have a connection that's way deeper than sex. You know, sex should be a bonus to something that's already amazing. It shouldn't be the gist of what it is. So if all we have is sex and you remove that from the relationship, then I would say it would be easy to walk away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I'm basing it off of. But if it's something much deeper than that and we connect on a much deeper level, you know, there's other things that can be done that you don't necessarily have to be working, you know, your genitalia physically, that we can, you know, that I can still get pleasure and you can still get pleasure. Sex is really a mental thing.
Right.
Yes, you get this, you know, you have this physical change that happens in your body, but if you're not connected mentally, you're kind of missing out. There's so many women who don't have orgasms.
Right.
Like, I couldn't imagine a life without orgasm. And I know so many females that never had one, or they can only have one a certain way, like, you know, only through oral sex. They can't have it if they're, you know, stimulated with a penis, which is kind of weird to me. But, you know, it really depends on, and my belief is, how in tune you are with yourself.
So
and you have other factors. You have things like, you know, if it's the man who, since that's what you're talking about, can't get up anymore, you know, what type of, is he going to be able to handle it?
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes, you know, they have a great life that they've built together. She may be, you know, she very well can be loyal because it's not based off of a sexual relationship, but he may not be able to handle that because, you know, you have that guilt.
Right.
Or, you know, you start to, like you said, that self-esteem thing, that is something that's difficult for a lot of people to deal with. You know, are you going to be able to look at this woman knowing that you can't have sex with her and trust that that wasn't the basis of your relationship anyway? So when she says, you know, I'm loyal, and you know she's coming home and she's still treating you the same exact way, are you going to be able to treat her the same exact way?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you going to feel guilty for, you know, for yourself and not be able to move forward? It's kind of like, you know, when people have to get a limb removed and then they feel a certain type of way. Like, I understand that, like, you know, you're not a whole person anymore.
Right.
But, you know, if you are a believer in anything beyond yourself, you know that life goes on.
Right.
And you know that you have to live your best life with what it is that you have. And are you able to mentally move past whatever barriers that may be there? And, you know, some men will and some men will not be able to.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great topic. I think you're making a lot of amazing points. I just think it's truly based off of what drives you as a person? If you're driven by sex, then it would be difficult, if you're a woman who is driven by sex, to have that snatched away from you if it's something that you value that much.
So wouldn't you think that a lot of relationships are driven in a high percentage? I guess at least 78% of relationships are physical, correct? Through expression and everything else.
Absolutely, which that's not the way it should be.
Okay.
I mean, if you go back to, if we're talking, I'm not pushing a Bible on anybody, but if we go to the biblical times, you're only supposed to be with one person. Mm-hmm. That's the only person you're supposed to ever be able to experience. And so is that the only way that we're taught this? Does that mean that that's the only way that this person has value? Like, yes, it is physical, but there's so many different facets of life. There's so many other experiences that you can have with a person. There's so many different things that you can build with a person.
Yeah.
That it shouldn't just be that their penis isn't working, so now this is the end.
Right.
Do you throw away everything that you've built with someone? Can you just turn off those emotions like that?
Well, most can't. And I'm speaking from as a man and that could be put in that situation. The worst thing you could do to a man is put him in a position where he's lost his manhood. And he knows that he can't fulfill that thing, with whom they're with. And that leaves him open for someone else to fulfill that. And I mean, it's the law of the jungle. Another man's going to come take your place at some point in time. And the inevitable sets in. So he has resentment and self-esteem issues at that point. What has he done to fail himself or fail the woman he's with? And some may be willing to put themselves out of the misery. I'm not saying, to kill themselves or suicide, but meaning move out of the relationship or move on. To go ahead and start the healing, as opposed to sitting around waiting and in their mind to prolong the inevitable. So, I know that there are a lot of women, good women out here who could stay loyal in a relationship that was, for them, that was good. They had a good man and they had some things in life. They were able to manifest a real relationship with this man. And, he may have been spirit-filled and, able to really meet some of her spiritual and mental and physical, needs consistently through life. So those things could be stored up. So I know that there are times where women are willing to, even prime example, women are willing to do time with jokers that have gone off to prison for goofy shit. And motherfucker really wasn't that good to them, but they do the time with them loyally, so faithfully. So, I mean, I'm sure it could happen. But as time goes on, you start looking at your own clock and be like, look, I'm losing. Those things happen. That's the question. Can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? Because if something happens and the man can't get it up, he's going to have issues. Not to say he's going to blame the woman, but she's going to catch some heat, there based on that. So, I mean, it's another question as to whether or not she can weather the storm. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely get that. So I have a question, just because I'm not a man and, my brain just isn't wired the same way as a man's brain. Mm-hmm. You said he loses his manhood.
Right.
So, and I'm sorry that I'm going to ask this question, but I have to because I just don't know. But do you all, is that your manhood? Like, the penis not being able to work is, do you feel like that is the most valuable thing that you all would have to offer?
It is one of it is one of the most valuable things that a man can have to offer. And that's biblical. You think about it. God put us here merely to be fruitful, marry, and multiply. And if you can't multiply, I don't know how married you're going to be after a while. I mean, but the thing is, the flip side of it too. You have to look at it. Women who can't reproduce. A lot of you, they don't feel like they're whole women. Okay, that part has been taken from them, or they can't do that. So that in itself is kind of that same bridge thing, Uh, um, look at any city you go into. As a matter of fact, look at the nation's capital. A lot of people have no idea what the national monument is. You want me to answer?
Right.
It is a direct replica of the city of Alexandria, which was in Egypt, and it is a how do I say it? It is a replica of Osiris's penis.
Right.
Right. So anywhere you go, whether you go to the Aztec civilization, anywhere, that a man's penis is his manhood is one of those things who, I mean, it's been, how do I say it? Honored or its placement is.
It's been memorialized.
There you go.
It's one of those things that you know what it is. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I guess the difficulty for me, and I'm not supposed to see it from a man's point of view because I'm not a man, is, as you described the situation or you gave the story, it's a life that you built with someone who, you found a level of happiness. It's like, as a woman, when you search for a man and you have these, your list, right? You have your non-negotiables and these are deal breakers.
Right.
And you have this person who checks off your whole list. And it's just one thing that he doesn't check off. Do you pass on him because it's the one thing? And I guess that's how my brain is working. Like, I get it. If we have built a life together, I'm not talking about someone that I just met and now you have this issue.
Mm-hmm.
If we've built a whole life together, yes, I can absolutely be loyal and faithful and happy. Okay. Because we have a life full of memories. We have built a life together.
Well, let me say this.
I don't think you just throw someone away.
Yeah, but that in itself is not truly the issue. That would, I think, initially would drive you as a woman away. I think all the things that come with the realization that this may not happen for this man again. Okay, any real man worth his weight in gold, he pays his way, right? He gets out in the field, he works hard, he takes care of his home, he provides. He loves his family the way he loves himself and better. But if certain aspects of his life, meaning he's not able to go out into the field and work and make provision, that man doesn't eat. And most men that are not able to make provision, they will remove themselves by proxy because of their pride, their manhood.
Right, no, I get that. You're talking about the self-reflection piece, and that's what I'm saying. I just don't understand. Is even with the scenario that you gave, if I have built a life with someone, and let's go back to the erectile dysfunction. Let's say he had a horse accident, a horse fell on him, and it just doesn't work anymore. Okay. I couldn't live with myself knowing I just left this man who we've had this whole life together. He had an accident, something that he wasn't planning on. And then vice versa. Let's say something happens and he can't work anymore, but he has provided this life. I get it. If he wanted to push me away, there's nothing that I can do. I wouldn't try to force him to stay in something that he can't handle. But if he has provided a life, I think now it's, that's what you have a partner for. Right. It's like, okay, you have this unpreventable, this crazy circumstance that has happened that prevents you from doing something. Now it's time for me not to make you feel like less of a man, but if we know we have to eat, then I need to make sure that we eat. You're still my man. I don't look at you any different. It's just something unfortunate happened. But I get it. It's really not about how I'm looking at him. What you're saying is how is he going to look at himself? Exactly. And that's something that I can't compete with. Mm-hmm. And I would hope that if that was the situation, that he can communicate that to me, that I can't look at myself as a man and be with you. Like that just doesn't work for me. I'm not that type of man. Then yes, I would have to move on. But the question is, could you stay loyal? I could, but I can't stay in a situation where I'm not allowed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you can throw people away, especially if you're talking about you built a happy life together.
Right.
A happy life is not something that's easy to find. Mm-hmm. And if the worst I'm going to get is not being able to be penetrated by you, then I'm willing to take that, because if you're mentally able to handle what has happened, I still see a happy life.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Right.
But as you stated, you can't compete with him and what he's dealing with.
Absolutely.
The question is,
Absolutely.
The question I guess would be, would the average woman or female have the wherewithal to deal with that mental and emotional and spiritual break with himself? That, like, damn, I remember how I used to do what I do. Now I can't do that anymore. And she hasn't changed. And I know her desires haven't changed. She may be able to stress those things to me, and we may be able to experiment in other ways. But I know that if I'm in tune with her, she likes it this way. And if I can't give it to her that way, at some point in time, if she's going to go out and get it that way, these are thoughts that the average man would have. Now, him wrestling with that would put him in a state of insecurity, which is another form of a breakage in a relationship. I mean, especially if you're not doing anything wrong. Right. You'll get tired of hearing that shit after a while. You'd be like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and do me. Or...
No, I mean, yeah, in that situation, I think it's like any type of unexpected situation that happens, right, that causes a person to have lack. It's like a death. If you're in a relationship and let's say someone loses a parent, that's a very serious thing, and they go through a grieving process.
Right.
You can grieve for years and years and years and put all of that stress on your partner, which causes a wedge. So I think, again, for me, if I would be as understanding as I could for as long as possible, giving them trying to progress through what they were going through, like getting help,
right,
to understand their new life. Now, if it was something where I feel like it's constant stress on me, then I'm going to be honest. I still don't think I would cheat. I would remove myself from that situation.
Right.
Especially if they're not willing to vocalize that they can't handle it. They want to keep me around, but they're keeping me around and they're stressing me out, or they're being hateful because they're going, all of the different things that people go through when they're going through something. They kind of put it on other people. So it really depends on the dynamic of that thing. I wouldn't stay around, but I wouldn't cheat either.
Well, I mean, is it okay for someone to cheat if they were in a sexless relationship? Is it okay?
I don't think cheating is okay ever. I think if you're in I think it's a conversation to have.
Right.
There are times when a woman, her body changes after a certain age, and maybe she just isn't into sex anymore. And if she knows she has a man who likes to have sex every day, maybe they can come to some sort of an agreement, right? Where, okay, we have this life that we've built. I know you love me, and I know that you have physical needs. Go handle your needs outside the home. As long as you don't bring, any baby, you set your rules or whatever. And if that's an agreement that you have, that's the agreement. I still would have a conversation. I don't think that it's okay to cheat. Okay. If you know that this person isn't willing to be sexual with you in any type of way, they're not trying, you have a conversation. You don't just cheat. I don't think that that's the solution. I mean, I understand how it happens. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid and naive. You ain't fucking me, somebody else gonna hit it. You know what I mean? I get how that happens. I just think it's always best to communicate. If you communicate, and if it's not something that you feel you can do, remove yourself from the situation.
Right. Well, I thank you for your time. I thank you for calling in. I mean, taking time out of your evening to shed some light on some stuff. I mean, I guess a different perspective is always a breath of fresh air, because I don't know it all. And
no, I mean, but you said this a lot of great points, and I'm sure a lot of women wouldn't think of it that way. So I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. If you got something to say, man, you want to call in, once again, the number up is on the screen, 929-322-3971. This is the ROMELLO Marcellus show. I am he and he is me. And tonight we're talking about, can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? The scenario that I am using tonight is not just the fact that you're together and you just can't have it, but there may be circumstances where erectile dysfunction, it could be an accident, anything, where your man can't give you what you need. Would you stay loyal, or would you go out and seek something else? And let's just say that the relationship was good or is good. The question is, on the back end, if you decided to stay loyal, can you really handle the fallout of a man who has lost his manhood, i.e. his will or being able to physically handle his business with you? You know, that's a lot implied. That is a lot of pressure, i.e. pressure that you can't get, but pressure on the other side. Are you willing to handle that? Can you stay? Can you stick that out? With his self-resentment, loss of confidence, a whole bunch. And there is that ever-looming specter of him becoming insecure of you, because he's not able to do things to you or with you the way that he initially did. Yeah. So, but the other side is that every woman's different, just like every man is different. Who knows what really pleases you sexually, and vice versa. Okay? You may not be one of those who need the back blown out of the full-on pressure. Just the presence of your man may be more than enough for you to reach a climactic orgasm and, be all right. But then there are some who have been desensitized by anything that's subtle or truly intimate, and need that hands-on action, that aggression, that thing. I was reading earlier, once again, a lot of us are on both sides of the spectrum or have been caught up into porn over the period of time that it's been freely and readily available to us on a regular, but without any guidance, truly understanding or not understanding that porn is a weapon. As I stated before, each time it's viewed, brain damage is incurred by a flood of synthetically generated dopamine. All right. And as I said before, studies have shown that consistent viewing of porn damages dopamine receptors. Okay. And also decreases gray matter in the brain. This is a form of brain damage which leads to low testosterone, anxiety, depression, decreased self-confidence, depletion of minerals, and less motivation. Porn also disconnects the viewer from reality and degrades the relationship between men and women, making it easier to control the population. If something is free, you become the product. Okay? The product of the environment, where most guys or most people are looking at this shit and not understanding it's not about love. It's actually barbaric, bestiality, a lot of different shit. It's just, okay. I mean, but if that's your bag, okay, you experiment, do what you do. But when you're talking about the intimacy of it all, well, to each his own. Everybody has their own taste. And I'm just saying that when we see something, a lot of times we try to do something, especially when we think that this is the thing to do. And I'll say, consult your partner. Because as I said last night, brothers, a lot of them don't like that puh. Yeah. And everything else, man. You can't go out here and just grab it and say, come on here and get it and do it and be who I need you to be. Someone said, I never like porn or men who watch it. Okay. Well, There's a lot of people that watch it, men and women, but I'm not judging. I'm just saying that these are the things that we plug into and we should be plugging out. All right? Yeah. So, last night, a lady was on the show and she was talking about guys with turtlenecks. Okay. And I can't talk about them now because I ain't gonna ever talk about that. But on an indirect conversation, bacteria, things of that nature are also ways that men can actually end up with ED. Okay. There's a lot of different things that can happen. The question is, can you stand the rain? Okay. Now, ladies, y'all watch porn. I know y'all watch porn. Do you get desensitized? Do you like that shit? Do you want the big dick? You know? Do you want the Joker to come and choke you out and throw you up on a kitchen counter and call you out your name and do all kinds of stuff, pull your hair and tie you up to a motherfucking water heater? You know? Yeah. Y'all might say no. A lot of y'all saying no, but goddamn it, y'all into that shit. Yes, she is. Yeah. But see, these are the things that a lot of guys may see, and it can play a part in the checking out of life with you. If that were ever a situation, you know, sure, there's things you can do. You can go get the Cialis, you can go get the, you know, the other pills and the blue pills and try and make it happen and all of that. You saying no to the turtleneck. Hey, look here. You got a lot to say. The number's on the bottom of the screen. You want to call in? The number is 929-322-3971. Yeah. Why are you saying no to the turtleneck? He can't control whether he was circumcised or not. That was his mama's call. Yeah. I mean, I guess you wouldn't know until you went to meet it. And I don't know. Hey, you want to go stop the process at that point in time? This is like walking through the park, like I said last night in the sundress, and you dry as fuck after 40, and you ain't doing nothing but getting damp, and you got to say, "Puh, you gonna stop the process?" Just like anything else, man, love is a process, man. There's a tail end. There's always a beginning and an end. It's inevitable. The question is, can you stand the rain? Can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? Because you never know how it may come. Hell, you might be the one that is out of commission, you know? Pootie hole, everything just shut down because now what do you expect from that man? Would you give him a pass? Or any of that? Listen, I'm going to tell you like that. If you shut your shit, if anything happens to you where you can't do what I need you to do, I'm sure there's going to be a big window in the house. I'm going to put you in your chair, put a blanket on you, get you a cup of coffee, some soup, a bag of chips, and I'm going to push you to that window. Kiss you on your cheek while I go pack my shit, and I'm gone. I gotta laugh at that one myself. Yep. Listen, goddammit, not everybody's built like that, honestly. And I'm just playing. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't do any of that kind of shit. I would stick in there and hang on and get you through. You know, see if we can nurse you back. Do something, man. Because you're going to sit there and get fat. Maybe I can fuck a roll. You hear me? Funky roll. One of your funky rolls. Yeah. But if you're just joining the show, man, the topic tonight is for ladies. Ladies, you got a gentleman that you've had time with and you built some sort of life or some semblance of something and you see greatness in him. And then something happens where he cannot sexually please you. He cannot get it up. Will you stay loyal? or will you venture out? Can you stay loyal to this man? And if so, we can't say for how long, but what I can tell you is you're going to endure some shit, because if he can't get it up, man, the man has lost his manhood, or a big portion of it. So his self-esteem is gone. He's shot. He's got resentment, self-resentment. He's got a whole bunch going on. Can you stand that? Because trust me, he may not hold it in. And if he can suppress it, it'll come out in other ways that will cause you problems in the relationship. Can you handle it? That is a big question. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, I can. But shit, until it happens to you, you don't know. Someone said, well, like you said, I'm not judging. Just my choice. Just to turn off to me. I guess I will start the process. Or you want to start the process or stop the process? Yeah. If you're just joining the show once again, man, this is the ROMELLO Marcellus Show. I am he and he is me. And we're talking about, can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? Can you stay loyal in a sexless relationship? And if so, how long? How long do you think you can hang? Here's a real question, lady. How many women could stay in a sexless relationship? Loyalty, love, companionship, but no bump and grind. A lot of people say relationships with no sex is merely a friendship. So are you willing to be just a friend with someone that you were in love with, or professing your love to, your intimacy with? How does that change the dynamic? You know? Hell. Are you just going to deal with the lizard? You're going to be King Lizard? He's going to have to become King Lizard? You're going to sit on his head all the time? You know? Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm asking these questions, man, for myself, because shit, I'm getting older. I'm not going to be 24 forever. I'm not going to be 24 forever. I'm looking for somebody to say, hey, man, even when you're drooling and you're in your depends, I'm going to roll out for you. But most are not willing to do that. Yeah. People say there's no excuse for cheating. People who say there's no excuse for cheating have never known what it's like to be in a loving but sexless relationship. Yeah. Shit, you human. You human. Yeah. What like Fleece Johnson said on Raw. You're all human. You get horny. You're gonna have somebody. You're gonna have somebody. Yeah. And when you see one, you gonna say, "Hey, come here. I like you, and I want you, and I'm gonna have you. And we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours." That's how you're gonna go. Yeah. Lead a poor person at home. Struggling with life. Yeah. Goddamn shame. Listen, there are numbers, man, out here for that too. You need an ED support group. Get out there and find it, man. Get out there and find it. They're there for you. Wow, time is flying. Listen, I come on here, man, to talk to y'all. I don't know it all. We're merely just bouncing ideas on one another, man, and seeing where things go. Hopefully somebody will gain something out of it and is able to help themselves or somebody next to them. Even when it comes to turtlenecks. whether to wear one or whether to use one. Yeah. Loyalty is everything when you're in a relationship. But loyalty is also honesty too. And if you can't hang, man, you got to sit down and have that conversation. You know, you can only thing you can do is try. And if you can't hang, man, you got to be willing to tell the person. It's not gonna last, man. Not gonna last too long. So what you want to do? You want to get out? You got to go on, get out. Get on out the way. Yeah. Well, then all you're getting, man, get you some understanding, man. And love yourself, man. If nobody else loves you, I love you. And yeah, get off my line.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the ROMELLO Marcellus show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring 'em out.
Here to give you